Hello everyone and welcome to another rousing episode of Spilling the Tea Tuesday. My name is Flossie and I am a mindset coach. If you would like one-on-one coaching with me, links will be in the description box below, as well as links for my SP course. It's 3 courses in one: how to become a master of manifesting, how to create the best version of yourself, as well as how to manifest your specific person and create a long-lasting relationship. Also links below for Nikki's manifestation evaluation. And we are having a Black Friday sale. Put in the code BF15 and get 15% off all my coaching services, all my courses, all my coursing bundles, all caps. So, as usual, I made a post and I asked you guys what your manifestation questions are. And I picked the ones most requested and most interesting to me. So you know the drill. Grab a chair, take a seat, because you know I'm going to be dropping deets all about manifestation, rapid style. I got a lot of questions about time. You guys want to know about time. So let's put some of this to rest. Here goes the questions. Sometimes we're doing everything right, like mental diet, inner conversation, self-concept, SP affirmations, and you're not getting your manifestation at that time. How do we overcome the when and why? The waiting mentality. So you have to remember, if you keep looking and checking the 3D for confirmation, you are going to manifest more looking, more checking the 3D for confirmation. Do you want that shit? Hell no. Trash. So what you do when you want to overcome the when and the why is you keep telling yourself, my manifestations always come to me in the most beautiful way possible. I have it right now. And you keep affirming and persisting, thinking from the reality that you want to be in. If you're manifesting a specific person and you are using the end goal, you would just keep thinking to yourself, affirming that I'm so happy that I'm in the best relationship of my life with. I feel peaceful, content, and complete being in my relationship with, or being married to, whatever it is that you're affirming. But you would keep thinking from that reality. Don't worry too much about the when, why, how, because you have to remember, our God self, infinite in its wisdom, our teeny tiny human brain, not. Your God self knows how to get your manifestation to you in the best way possible. Tiny little human brain does not. So you have to keep in mind that your teeny tiny human brain just doesn't have all the answers. Your God self does. So you have to allow your manifestation to unfold for you. Even if you're just affirming, I allow my manifestation to come towards me. I feel worthy of love and affection. I feel safe and secure giving and receiving love and affection. Sometimes we just don't feel worthy of receiving it. And so you keep affirming and persisting till you do, but you can also add those type of affirmations to nip the lack of worthiness that you feel in the bud, or worthlessness, whatever. Choosing the wrong word there. But I think you guys know what I'm saying. So the waiting mentality, just throw it out the window. You just keep telling yourself, I have it right now. The shit belongs to me. The desire comes from my God self, means it's meant to me. Creation is already finished. It's already mine. It's already created. I'm just becoming the version of me who has it. And I'm going to embody the state of the person who has it, because I'm going to tell myself I'm an amazing girlfriend. I'm an amazing wife. I'm an amazing husband. I'm an amazing boyfriend, partner, spouse, whatever the word you want to use. And you're going to keep thinking from that reality that you want to be in, and find other things to do. Find other things to do. Please talk about time. I swear I'm not focusing on the time, but sometimes it makes me mad, or sad rather, when I think about it. Like, I don't know, it just seems to take up a little bit longer. Yes, because when you focus on the time and you focus on looking outside of you to get that confirmation, it creates more looking, or it can, at least it does in my reality. When I am checking the 3D for my manifestations, I am checking more. When I stay focused on exactly what I want, and I stay embodying the state that I'm the opera and power of my reality, I can be, do, have whatever that I want. I always get my shit, always get it hella quick. The shit belongs to me. I stick my negative thoughts in the trash. Guess what? My shit shows up. So that's what you have to embody when you're wanting to manifest that for yourself. When you manifest on time crunch and it doesn't come on that date, what do? Well, they suggested revise. You can revise. You can revise that you got it. If you want to go and you want to create a scene that would indicate to you that you've received it, you can do that. You can just continue to affirm and persist, because if you get that manifestation 2 days later than the date that you put, are you really going to be upset about it at the end of the day or a year from now? No, you're not. Things unfold in the most beautiful, realistic way possible to you, whatever that is going to be to you. So you might have set a date on it, and perhaps some things had to move. I just always tell myself, you just always need to tell yourself there's always movement. Things are always happening. You're always getting your manifestations. Your affirmations work. You see evidence of your manifestations daily. You see proof that your positive affirmations are working every single fucking day, that you're a master manifesting. Your shit belongs to you and it shows up, period. That you have it already. Don't affirm anything that would indicate to you that you don't have it. Don't have reunion scenes or any of that. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later because there was a question about that. You just stay focused and you have it right now. You create scenes. It's scenes that indicate to you that you already have it. What do you do when you feel like you've been doing everything right for months and you see no movement? That is when you remind yourself that there's always movement. There's always movement happening, whether you see it or not. The 3D is an illusion. It's based on your old thoughts and assumptions. Your thoughts and your dominant thought about that manifestation has to change to where it can come forward in your 3D reality. Now, some things we don't really think about. They just happen because we don't really have a whole lot of resistance to those. Sometimes when we are, manifesting something very specific, we can have resistance to it. We don't know it has to move. And it's interesting because a lot of times when people get those manifestations, and they were upset for a long time that they had no movement because, people report that they saw no movement. It didn't look like anything was happening in the 3D. They get their manifestation and then they found out about all the different things that happened in that time. And then it makes complete and total sense to them. So you're in the middle of a story that you know the ending, but it's like the story to you is kind of blurry because you don't know the how or the when. You don't know how exactly everything is going to unfold, but you know what your end result is going to be. And so you need to learn to have the patience and stay focused on, whether you're doing in steps, the end goal, or both, and just stay focused on that because how it unfolds to you and how it unfolds for each person is going to be different. It's very individualized. I know that time is a big deal, but when you manifest other things, when you affirm for yourself concept, when you write FU letters, those things help you to not notice that you don't have what it is that you're manifesting. It's not that you need to let the manifestation go. It's sometimes when you let go of the neediness that I say strangles the life out of your manifestation, because when you are clinging to something to the point that it can't breathe and you feel like you can't live without it, it just can make this process feel a lot more difficult for you. You can still want it. You can still even feel like you need it, but try to remove the desperation and lack from yourself. Put yourself on the fucking pedestal by affirming self-concept. No manifestation should be above you. You're the operant power of your reality. Your specific person, the money is not above you. You are the one that has those things conform to you. You don't conform to them. They conform to you. How to manifest a specific time in a specific time frame for money, SP, anything. If you are wanting to manifest on a time crunch, you can affirm things that are like, I'm so happy and grateful that I had such and such. And then you can say a date if you want a specific date. You can affirm that you had the best Christmas of your life with your specific person and mean this Christmas if you're wanting to have it by this Christmas. You can affirm and visualize, if it's about money, that something got done by the date that you wanted. I'm so happy that my bills were paid by the 1st. Whatever that it is, just use a term like by because you don't want to drag out your manifestation. You want it on or before that time. But that's one of the ways that you can do that is by using the word by. And I also got a lot of questions about movement. Question is, had an urge to text SP, went well over text. You were texting every day, you had a date, you had a great night together, and as you kept persisting, things fizzled away. Is that normal? Well, as you know, sometimes when a manifestation comes forth and it hasn't hardened into fact, there can be a little bit of jerky business as the old version is leaving, the new version's coming through. Sometimes the old version pops in for a moment. You just affirm and persist and ignore it. If you feel like you were persisting and you started getting obsessed with your persisting, and then you started seeing some fizzling, were you having some fears come in? Were you affirming out of desperation and lack? Were you putting your manifestation back on the pedestal and taking yourself off of it? Because a lot of people notice that they get a ton of movement when they affirm and persist for their self-concept, when they start embodying the state of the person who has it all, the woman and man or man who's confident, the woman or man who's in a relationship. Their manifestation comes off of the pedestal and they get put on there. And when that happens, there starts being a little bit more indifference to the manifestation. You still want it. You may still feel like you even need it, but it's not that desperate, clingy connection or relationship, energetic relationship between you and your manifestation, and the process is easier. But when you start having movement and you start maybe getting fearful that that movement's going to go away, or you start putting the manifestation back on the pedestal, then what happens to some people is they notice that the movement stops. Yeah, because you took the focus off of you and how you would feel to have it, and living and thinking from the end of having that, and you put your manifestation back being above you. See, I'm going to use my hand so that you can see something. When you have the manifestation on the pedestal, it's like you're looking up at it. It feels unattainable. It feels like it's higher than you. It feels like it's above you. If something is above you, what does it feel like? Like I said, unattainable, unreachable, difficult to get to, like Mount Everest. Do you want your manifestation to feel like Mount Everest to you? Fuck no. You want to put yourself on the pedestal. You don't have to be all the way up here looking down at your manifestation like it's beneath you, but you can at least be more like this, to where, you know, if something's equal to you or you're just a hair above it, it feels obtainable. It feels easy for you to get. It feels like you belong to you. You deserve it. You're the one in power, right? Not like this, you know, something like that. So get your manifestation off the pedestal, because I think from what I've had clients tell me and my own personal experience on my manifestation journey, manifesting other things, that is sometimes what happens. You get so wrapped up in your manifestation that it's coming forward, and you affirm and persist for it. You start affirming for you less. The manifestation goes back on the pedestal. You start having some more anxiety and resistance towards it. And then it's like, where's my shit now? Well, put yourself back on the pedestal. Movement stops. Why did it stop? How to not let it bother you? Truly put it past you. It can stop because you had some negative ass thoughts, because you put the manifestation back on the pedestal, because you're not really affirming and persisting, and you're just letting life happen to you and not making it happen for you. There's a handful of reasons why movement stops. Perhaps that was the movement that needed to happen right this second, and more movement is coming. When you have movement and then the movement appears to cease to you in the 3D with your 3D senses that are looking at this false illusion, instead of getting all upset and being like, my movement stopped, stick that thought in the trash where it belongs and be like, you know what? I got hella movement, which means what? My affirmations are working. My mental diet is working. Everything I'm doing is working. I'm going to use a movement that I got, and I'm going to affirm and persist, and I'm going to stay laser focused, and I'm going to keep working on myself. Why? Because that was working. I got hella movement, which means what? I'm going to get more movement. Don't get focused on not getting movement, because you don't want to manifest not getting movement. You want to be like, I'm powerful as fuck, got all this movement. Guess what? I'm going to manifest even more of that, because I always get what I want, period. How to not check the 3D when movement stops. You keep telling yourself, I'm a master at manifesting. I always get what I want. Everything always works out for me. I get my shit, period. And when you want to check at the 3D, be like, nope, I have exactly what I want. It's here with me right now, and keep affirming and persisting. Work on manifesting other stuff. Work on doing other things to where you're not doing this business, checking the clock. Don't check the clock. Keep affirming and persisting and staying laser focused on what you want. Stay laser focused on the end goal or whatever step that you're on. 3D illusion. Just look at it as the illusion that it is. And as you have your thoughts become more in line with your manifestation, you're going to see that appear. Remember, your thoughts are always creating. Everyone is you pushed out. So whatever you're putting out there is what you're going to be receiving back. As far as what your dominant thought is, no, if you think one negative thought, you are not going to necessarily have that manifest. It has to be like the dominant thought about that subject. That's what we teach. But stay laser focused. You don't have to check the 3D. 3D is an illusion. It's all up here. Use the 3D as a guide. It can also guide you. If you're seeing shit that you don't want in your 3D, you can be like, oh, I know where my mental diet is, or at least where it's been. And so I'm going to take what I'm seeing here and I'm going to focus on what I want more and not what I don't want. So no bitching, no whining, no complaining. You can't like sit there talking all day long negatively about your SP, about your money, and expect shit to change for you. You have to be like, do you have to go around telling everybody that it's great and you're about to, be married when you're not? No, but you in your mind can be like, I'm in this perfect relationship. I'm happy. I feel more love than I ever have been, etc., until it literally starts to conform. And then you keep affirming and persisting till it's hardened into fact, like a friggin' table. SP saying he loves me one day, next day, not. Same thing. You got movement. Be like, nope. He, she, madly in love with me, obsessed with me. I'm all they think about. They love being my boyfriend, girlfriend. They love being in this relationship with me. Our relationship's stronger than ever, period. Anything else goes in the garbage can. If he says he loves you one day, you know what that means? The shit that you were doing was working. And so you're going to be like, yep, what I do works. Maybe old version popped in a minute. Christian Grey left the building for a second. In came Chewbacca. We're going to reject Chewbacca. We're going to say bye, Chewie, bye. Hello 50, okay? Bye, Chewie. See you later. He can go back to Star Wars, punching people in the face, because you're going to affirm and persist until you have the dude or the chick from 50 Shades of Grey. One day saying he doesn't love you, who cares? It's full of shit. He's full of your old thoughts and assumptions that we're not going to entertain, pay attention to, period, nada. I got some questions about mental state. One is manifesting while suicidal. Can you still manifest? Now, first of all, this is not therapy and this is not medical advice. If you feel suicidal, you need to call your local helpline for your nation, country, etc. The one for the United States is 1-800-273-8255. I'm going to put information in the description box so that you know where to call should you be having any sort of suicidal thoughts, because we don't want to have that. If you really need help, it is okay to get help, period. You can absolutely still manifest if you are feeling any mental state. But again, if you are having a mental health crisis, please call the appropriate number for the country that you live in so that you can get help if you need it. It can be a crisis. Sometimes you do need medical intervention, and that is okay. If you need that help to get to where you need to go, there's nothing shame in it. There's nothing wrong with it. Get help if you need it. But feeling depressed or upset about a situation is a mental state. Having said that, do not have any manifestation be so above you that you want to harm yourself over that manifestation, because no manifestation, honestly, is worth that. You're the operant power. You're the creator. You are the most important one in your reality. And again, get any help if you truly need it, period. But having negative emotions does not necessarily prevent you from getting what you want. But you still want to have a good self-concept. You want to feel good. You want to feel joyous. I feel more joyous than I ever have been. I feel mentally stable. I feel happy, healthy every single day. I find joy every single morning. Whatever it is that you want to affirm about feeling happy, mentally stable, that you find joy in every single thing that you do. Every moment of every day, you become more joyful. Everybody's always complimenting you, being there to help you, doing things that bring happiness into your life, period. While you're affirming and persisting, you can affirm and persist for what you want. If you need to get help because you're in a crisis, you can get help while you continue to work on your mental diet and affirm and persist that you're happy, healthy, and whole, that you're the happiest that you've ever been, that, you feel mentally stable all times, you're fully in control of your thoughts at all times. But if you need help, please go get it. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, manifesting while grieving the loss of a child or anyone. First of all, I'm very sorry if you've lost a child or anyone who, in your life, especially if it's someone that you have a significant relationship with. Take time to grieve if you need it. It is okay to take time to grieve. If you want to affirm for that, you can be like, I easily move through the stages of grief. I easily accept, and say what it is, this part of my 3D reality. It is okay to grieve and take whatever time that you need to do so. You can affirm, I have so many people helping me through this grieving process. I am so grateful that so many people are in my life helping me. And then you can still affirm and persist for what you want. You can affirm that each day gets easier. Each day gets easier to deal with. And, you know, you can say the situation if you want to. You cannot if you don't want to. But I would affirm, you know, every day gets easier for me. I easily go through this grieving process. I feel happier every single day. I have more acceptance of this part of my 3D reality every single day. And I would be gentle on myself. You can be gentle to you. You can take care of you. Take some self-care time. Reach out to any resources in your area. You know, there are usually support groups for people who are grieving. You might even find, you know, a manifestation buddy and one of the groups that you're in who's also going through a process. And so look for someone who's maybe going through something like you. Seek help from a counselor if you need to, you know, for your mental health, because grieving the loss can be difficult. You may have some days that are easier than others, but, you know, if you need to cry, go ahead and cry. If you want to write, for lack of a better word, the FU letter to what has happened so that you can let some of that emotion out, let it out. Do it, some EFT to get that emotion out. You can also do the Ho'oponopono. Like, there's a lot of things that you could do that'll help you to process the emotion that you have. If you need, you know, some talk therapy or EMDR or anything like that, reach out to, you know, your providers in your area to get some help. But yes, you can still manifest while you're grieving any sort of loss. And you can also, you know, manifest having better mental and emotional states while you're going through those processes. How do I get into and stay in this state? First of all, I think you're talking about either living from the end or embodying the state like you already have it. First of all, you affirm to get into that state. And you can create some affirmations that help you to get into that state. I like affirmations that describe how I would feel if I had that manifestation. So, I am a millionaire. I feel wealthy as fuck. I am relieved that I have so much money. When you affirm that, and you keep affirming things like that, I feel more loved than I ever have been. I feel peaceful in my relationship with or being with, and you say your specific person's name, you will notice that if you're affirming, I feel more loved than I ever have been, I feel peaceful in my relationship with, and you keep saying those things, you will start feeling like this peaceful feeling come over you, and you are embodying that state of the person who feels more loved than they ever have been and who feels peaceful in that relationship. That's how you can start to embody a state, to me, is by having affirmations that pull in how you feel along with it. And then it makes it all about you, right? Because if I'm affirming, I'm so happy I got so much money, that is a little bit different than saying I got a ton of money. No, I'm happy that I got all that money. I'm joyful I got all that money. And you will start to feel happy and joyful about having a ton of money. That's how you can make yourself feel an emotion. And once you start being able to do that because you've affirmed it enough that it will invoke that emotion in you, then when you want to continue to feel that way, you affirm a little bit and you're like, yeah, I feel rich as fuck now. I feel happy I have so much money. I feel peaceful in this relationship. That's what I would say about that. How to stop visualizing the reunion scene. I know that you said it feels natural to you. Of course it does, because you've probably visualized it so many times it feels natural to you. You pick another scene. It only has to be like 5 to 10 seconds long. You can be holding your specific person's hand and they could say something that would imply that you've been together for a while. Like, I'm so happy that we're finally married. Or, I'm so happy that we're celebrating our 5th year wedding anniversary. You only have to see, you know, your hands with wedding rings, or maybe they pick your hand up and they kiss it. Or maybe you see yourself out on a vacation. That's something that you've always talked about doing. But when you loop that scene over and over again, yeah, initially gonna feel weird. Why? New scene, your brain has to start to accept that you're visualizing that, but you will accept it. You will accept it just like the reunion scene, but I still do not, and I do not foresee myself ever suggesting or recommending people to do a reunion scene. Why? Stuck in the old story implies you're not together and keeps you stuck trying to do the how. And we don't tell our God self the how, period. We don't control the how, okay? So get out of that reunion scene. Fact. Why can I manifest unintentionally, but when I want something and try to manifest intentionally, I can't do it? First of all, that goes right in the trash can, right in the aisle over there. Why? Because you are not going to affirm or reaffirm that you can't purposely, consciously manifest. Why? Because you need to be affirming shit like, I'm a master manifesting. I am the guru of conscious creation. Not, I can't do it, because what will happen? Your 3D reality will appear that way to you. If you are affirming and persisting, because that's basically what you're doing. If you're telling yourself, I can't manifest something purposely, I can't manifest consciously, your 3D reality is going to be like, here you go. You can't manifest shit. You're trying to manifest this over here, and we're going to show you that you can't. Why? Because your assumption is you can't. So, garbage. Secondly, why can you manifest? Why does it appear as though you can manifest things unintentionally? Because when you have a thought like, oh, I'd rather this happen today, you're not affirming for it, you're not persisting for it, but you say, I'd like to have this happen, or I'd rather this happen. You just think about it and it happens. You probably had zero resistance to it. You knew it was possible. And at the end of the day, you probably didn't give a shit if it happened or not. You were like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No resistance, didn't care, weren't focusing on it. But when you're like, I need to purposely manifest XYZ happening, or I am not a master manifesting, I can't manifest, you're putting so much pressure on yourself. You're putting so much resistance on yourself to have that happen. And then while you're telling yourself, I can't do it, it's not going to happen because I can't manifest, it's not, your 3D reality is going to conform to your assumption that you can't manifest it. You put so much pressure on yourself, so much resistance on yourself, that you're going to have to overcome that. So that is why some things manifest like really quick, because you are like, don't care, you're not paying attention to it. And other ones seem to take forever because you're like telling yourself you can't do it, and you put all this pressure and resistance on yourself. So I would be like, nope, I am a master manifesting. I see evidence daily that I'm the most powerful manifestor ever existed. I get my manifestation at a snap of my finger. Manifestations are easy as fuck for me. I get my shit easy and hella quick. I always get what I want. Everything always works out for me. I'd be affirming things like that. Why? Because if you can form those as your base assumptions of how your 3D reality works, because remember, you can create the rules for your 3D reality, but you have to create the rules. So what do you have to do? You have to have your dominant thought about that aspect of your 3D reality be what you want to experience. So if you are affirming regularly, I'm a master manifesting, everything always works out for me, etc., everything that I said, you will start to see that mirrored back to you, reflected back to you, because you'll start getting what you want. You'll start getting your manifestations easily and instantly. It took me a few minutes to really be able to consciously manifest and to change things in my 3D reality. But I kept affirming and persisting regardless of what I saw. I would script, I would rampage, I would affirm. I would even set a timer if I wasn't affirming enough, and sometimes I still do that. So do those type of things so that you can start shifting your mindset about your 3D reality so that you can start experiencing what? Something different. How to know when, this is self-concept now, we're working on some self-concept. There's a handful of questions. How to know when self-concept is on point. No opposing thoughts, you feel 100% confident. I think you know your self-concept is on point, number one, when people start reflecting that back to you. When you start seeing people treat you like the diamond goddess, irresistible, magnetic, can have any person that they want, things that you're affirming. I also believe that you will feel at that point when, I'm not saying you won't be triggered by the 3D, I'm not saying you'll never have a negative thought, but when you get to the point about your manifestation that you're like, it's mine, it belongs to me, I'm just sitting here chilling like a villain while I'm waiting for my 3D reality to conform. Why? Because I'm on the fucking pedestal, I'm the goddess over here, or God, I am the queen, dude, or be up in over here, then I think that's when you start to feel like your self-concept is on point. People might be reflecting back to you how confident you appear, etc. That's when I think that you start to see it. At least those are my definitions. You may have other meanings that you assign in your 3D reality. When manifesting myself to become more confident, will that bring in more inspired action on myself, or will others see a difference in me? I think both, because if you're affirming, I am confident, I get the royal treatment wherever I go, men are lining up to want to be with me. I'm the ideal woman and all men know it. I'm magnetic, I'm irresistible, I'm beautiful. I'm the most beautiful woman in the face of the planet. You look up sex in the dictionary and there's a picture of me. If you keep telling yourself these positive, wonderful things about you, I am happy, I am joyful, I feel amazing, you're going to start to change how you present yourself. Why? Because you're going to start to have more confidence. You're going to start to feel like you are the most beautiful woman or man in the room. You're going to start to feel like you feel amazing, that you can have, have anything that you want, etc. So you're going to project a change because you will conform to your thoughts and assumptions. And then people are going to mirror that back to you. They're going to see the change in you. They're going to start seeing you differently, because when you affirm for yourself and how you see yourself, you also like affirm for how others see you. So it's a combination, in my opinion, of the two. You're going to start conforming and start having subtle changes about you that may not be immediately noticeable, but over time will be like, damn, I'm a completely different person. But other people are going to start mirroring that back to you, reflecting that back to you because of what you're affirming. Self-concept. Worked on self-concept, don't desire things as much anymore. Yeah, yanked that shit off the pedestal like I was saying earlier. Your self-concept is the hook that yanks your manifestation off the pedestal, and then you place yourself up on there. So yeah, you don't have as much desire because the lack and neediness has gone from you. We are so used to feeling needy, desperate, clingy, anxious, that when those feelings leave and we feel peaceful, we still want something, but we're at peace about it. We're thinking, well, we don't want it anymore. No, you just aren't anxious, desperate, needy, clingy, and wanting to fucking suffocate the life out of your manifestation because you're like, if I don't have it, I'm not going to live. I'm going to die. No, you're not going to die. No. Get rid of the neediness and lack by putting yourself on the pedestal. You'll still have the desire, but that feeling is going to change. You still want it. Most likely, most people still want their manifestations. They don't know what it feels like not to be in that state of desperation. And so when they have a state of peace and knowing, then they're like, well, I must not want it. No, you just don't feel the need to chase it anymore. You're where you should be. Confused with self-concept while manifesting a specific person. Doesn't removing the SP off the pedestal and making myself the priority mean letting go and moving on? Fuck no, it doesn't mean you're letting go and moving on. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, you took it off the pedestal. You can still want it. You can still desire it, but the desperation that you're used to feeling is gone. You don't have to let it go. You don't have to move on. Putting yourself on the pedestal means that you've made yourself the most important person in your 3D reality. You've done what you should, which is make things about you. Without you, your 3D reality wouldn't even exist. Why are we putting things, people, places above ourselves? No, they aren't the operant power. You are. Manifestation process is a lot easier when you're on the pedestal. I'm not saying that you can't manifest, because of course you can. You can stay off the pedestal and keep your shit up on there, but then you're going to feel all desperate and shit over it and be all miserable. And it's like every time anything happens, your emotions are going to be up and down like a Richter scale during an earthquake. Do you want that shit? No. You want to feel good. You want to feel positive. You want to feel powerful, confident, amazing. Step into your power as operant power. Kick those manifestations off the pedestal. You're still going to want them. And it doesn't mean you're letting go. It means you're putting yourself first. That's what it means. And we're so used to not putting ourselves first that when we do, it almost freaks us out. Trust me, you're going to like being on the pedestal, knowing that you're the operant power. How to deal with noisy neighbors. I just got this question. I thought I threw it in at something completely different. You literally affirm and persist. I love my apartment. It is so, or house, whatever. It is so peaceful here. I love that everyone who lives in this neighborhood is so peaceful and quiet. I love that I could sleep at any time of the day because nobody ever makes any noises. Those people will either conform or they will leave. Remember, for your 3D reality, you affirm and persist for what you want to experience, and people will conform or leave. And those are just hardcore facts. That's the way that it always goes. It's the way that it is, was, has been, will be, period. So, doesn't matter what you want to manifest, person, money, different career, job, etc. You need something and you need it now. I just wanted to remind this one quick thing. If you need money and you need it now and you feel like you're on a time crunch, remember, you affirm like you already have stuff, and you don't keep telling yourself how broke I am. Don't keep telling yourself how broke you are. If you want some money, don't be like, I can't afford, I can't afford, I can't afford, I can't pay. Why? You're keeping yourself in the state of lack, the state of no money, the state of being poor. You want to have money? I'm a multi-millionaire. I am wealthy. I am the very definition of wealth and abundance, period. I'm so happy I have more money than I can do with. I'm rich as fuck. That's what I would do. So, that is going to be the end of this video for today. Have an amazing Thanksgiving holiday if you celebrate that. If not, no worries. There's going to be a Black Friday sale on everything, and those links will be in the description box below, as well as the code. And if you do need some help with your mental health and you're having a crisis or feel suicidal, please reach out to the organization in your area that can help you through that. There's people usually that you can talk to on the phone that'll help walk you through whatever it is that you're going through. Keep affirming and persisting for you, your mental health, your manifestations. Get yourself on the pedestal. You're the fucking opera in power. You can be, do, have anything that you want, and we love you. So, you know, sometimes you guys drop comments. I love to read them all. And you know what the deal is. There'll be another post coming up soon for another Spill the Tea Tuesday. Bye.